Welcome to Just Koryzma, episode 15. I'm your host, Brady Koryzma. Alongside me today, Hillary, and I don't know how to pronounce your last name, really sorry.
Hertzberg.
She is a vegan. She does animal activism, which is really cool, and she does a big travel girl, and she's a nurse.
Yep, nursing student. But
yes.
Yeah.
So, why did you choose to become vegan?
I grew up vegetarian, was raised a little pescatarian, eat seafood still, and animals are my passion, always have been. And then I kind of was triggered in one of my nursing classes in the fall in November, where a teacher asked us to, she was talking about a Cube of Truth, which is like an animal activism demonstration kind of, and no one knew what it was about, so I just raised my hand and explained it to the whole class, and things got kind of like heated a little bit for me anyways. Like people were just talking about what they think is right and wrong about using animals, and I got so frustrated I left the class crying, and I was like so pissed off. And then I just realized that I was like basically a huge hypocrite and not practicing what I preached. I just decided that day, November 7th, to just finally be vegan. I'd wanted to do it for a while, but just hadn't because of like whatever selfish reasons, like taste and convenience and all that. So yeah, did that November 7th, and yeah, it's awesome. Every vegan person I've met says that their only regret is that they didn't go vegan sooner. Right. So same with me.
So would you say that was kind of like the tipping point as well? Like that was just kind of what pushed you?
Yeah,
over
definitely.
The edge?
Yeah.
Okay. Like, how did you find the transition? I know like you're a pescatarian, so it probably wasn't too hard of a transition, but I know like there's a lot of like limitations like to what you can eat.
Yeah, lots of people think that, but it was pretty easy. Like I knew about veganism for a while, so I knew kind of more than lots of people go cold turkey from eating meat to just being vegan, so it's harder for them, but it's never been easier this day and age. There's so many alternatives to stuff, and like way more support, and with the internet, and tons of like I'd been following different vegan activists for a while, and just kind of use the internet. And yeah, like for me, my biggest thing was dairy. Like I loved cheese, but there's different vegan cheeses made from like cashews and stuff like that, so, and lots of stuff isn't super good, but you just gotta kind of pick and choose what you like. And yeah, I don't know, I guess maybe already being raised vegetarian, like I kind of already had an idea of alternatives, but yeah, I don't know, lots of people think like, oh, you need your protein from like eating animals, but I already knew like there's protein in everything. So I eat lots of like chickpeas, lentils, beans, and yeah, I don't know, I didn't think it was hard at all, except just cutting out stuff I liked, and also just getting used to like I love candy and sugar, so just like there's gelatin in a lot of that, so I just had to, it's just as easy as Googling like vegan alternative to whatever you want to eat. So just I found out pretty quick like all the different candy I can still eat, like all Maynards and except for wine gums, and yeah, and like for milk, like use almond milk. There's just there's so much variety that it's never been easier in this day and age. So yeah. So
like with like the cheese substitute, does it taste very similar? Like do you find like a lot of like the substitutes taste like weird, or are they okay?
Some, like lots of people will just get the Daiya shredded cheese, which I don't think is very good, and lots of people, if that's the first kind of vegan cheese they try, and if you try it on your own, like it's gross. I agree, it's gross. So people just kind of cross out, like be like, vegan food's gross, or vegan cheese is gross. But like in Nanaimo you can kind of get Daiya, or Chow is another brand that's good, but if you put it in food that you would normally add cheese, you don't like, it's good. And there's Daiya slices that are good for if you need kind of like cheddar taste. I don't really notice the difference. And then there's in Vancouver and Victoria, like bigger cities, there's more gourmet kind of brands like Blue Heron and Miyoko's and Cultured Nut and Black Sheep. I can't remember, it's from Kamloops, but they have like super good kinds like Gouda and smoked this and that, and like don't really notice a difference. So
okay, cool.
Yeah, and Bombos and town uses Daiya's new like cutting board shred style cheese, which is, so it's like an upgrade from their typical gross shredded cheese, and it's that's what they use on their vegan pizza, and it's like whenever I try it, I'm like, shit, and I have to phone them and be like, are you sure you gave me the vegan pizza? Like, it's really similar. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So do you have like a favorite vegan dish you've ever cooked?
I don't know. There's so many things. My roommate makes a pretty good shepherd's pie. Yeah, I don't know. I eat everything. Like, I can't think of a specific thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there anything you missed the most before you were a vegan?
I really like seafood. Like, I never grew up eating meat, so like I liked seafood, and I liked like raw oysters, and
Right.
I don't know. Yeah, it was weird. I ate weird stuff like that, but it's nothing that like I can't live without. And for me, like animal cruelty is like my taste isn't as important
Right.
as their life kind of thing. So it's just, and you can, for the most part, you can find substitutes for things. So, and it's growing so rapidly. There's more and more alternatives all the time. So,
Okay.
yeah, I don't know. Cheese was my huge thing, but now there's just like more and more. So
every
available.
day.
So
Yeah.
it's not bad. Yeah.
Okay. So then, like, how did you get into like animal activism? Because like, I mean, obviously, like caring for the animals, that's probably part of a huge ordeal for it. But
Yeah.
like, how did you become involved?
Well, there's, if anyone wants to, you can go on basically Facebook. There's just type in vegans of whatever your city is. So I joined Vegans of Nanaimo, and then you have tons of support there. And you can find out, like, Facebook is basically your biggest resource for if you want to know about like different events and stuff. And I knew about Cube of Truth. It's this like demonstration run by an organization called Anonymous for the Voiceless, and they for the past 2 years have been running these cubes in like over 600 cities around the world, and Nanaimo is one of them. And they had been doing, like, I think I heard about it last year in September or something like that, and
Right.
I've been wanting to join one ever since then. And then I became vegan, and I'm like, I should do that. And then I kind of like pushed myself to do it on May 5th. I just remember the day because it was like a big turning point for me. I just went to one. I was kind of nervous, but as soon as you go to something like that, like, the vegan community is so awesome, so welcoming. I met like so many amazing people. They all just like give you a hug to say
Cool.
meet you, and they're super nice. And I only wanted to go to that one thing originally, just to like say I'd done it and like
Right.
feel good that I had done something. And then just meeting everyone makes you want to kind of like do more and more. And then since then I've like done a few more of the cubes, and then I've gone to like Mother's Day. We went to Island Farms in Victoria to do like a protest for it's like the dairy industry, and then I went to Vancouver for every year they have a march to close all slaughterhouses around the world, so Vancouver's. And then I've just developed like super good group of friends through that, and so we kind of all like push each other to want to do more and like
Right.
be better and everything. So yeah, there's always so many events going on, and yeah, Facebook's the biggest way to find out about them.
Cool.
Yeah.
So how do you find like the atmosphere like at these activism events?
Super
Like not even like not just including like the people you're rallying with, kind of like the people who I guess don't see how you guys see.
It's kind of, there's lots of it's either like one or the other. Lots of people are like super supportive and also vegan, or like know about the issue and like kind of leaning towards it or whatever, and supportive and really nice. Or you get some people that are more resistant and like don't really get it and are kind of angry and can be rude and have, because there's lots of preconceived notions of like veganism's bad for you for this, like there's tons of excuses people have.
Right.
So lots of people are like defensive about, they think it's kind of like a personal attack on them that you're changing a way that like society's raised us to think is healthy and normal and everything. So
Right.
but it's not, because the dairy industry has fueled everything to just that. It's like to pay these companies and everything to keep like the truth hidden and stuff. So yeah, I don't know. It's kind of one or the other. Lots of people are really receptive, and then if they're not, like, we're never trying to like shove anything down anyone's throat. It's kind of more about like planting the seed and like giving people information, because we just have like truth and facts basically on our side, and we're never trying to be like every aggressive or anything. Like, every vegan has their own method of activism and way they go about it and way they talk about it, and obviously some methods are more effective than others. Like getting angry and being mean can give people like the just feel that idea that like vegans are crazy and whatever culty, but it's good. That's why I like to try to like remain calm and just
for sure
give them information and like answer people's questions. And it's hard sometimes to stay calm.
Well, I can imagine. It's as long as you're not too like Jehovah Witnessy trying to like shove information down their throat and like say like you have to convert. But I mean, like if you're just telling them about it, and as long as they're receptive, like in a non-rude way. If
someone wants to know and come to us, then we'll give them information. It's not kind of us going out and being like,
you're not knocking on doors.
And also, I think it's interesting how people think like vegans are so like preachy and this and that and like shoving their opinions in your face when from a vegan point of view, the world we live in, like once you've woken up to the horrors of animal agriculture and the truth and everything, the world then that we live in, like we're constantly surrounded by like propaganda for like you should drink milk, eat meat, like commercials on TV, like grocery stores, there's no vegan grocery stores, so like from our perspective we're having their opinions put in our face all the time, so I just think it's kind of interesting. So
I mean, it's just like it's just another thing, right? Like it just depends on how everyone's got to be open to both perspectives instead of just shutting it down immediately. So then do you have like a group you prefer? Like, is it the Cube group that you prefer to like kind of like
cubes,
rally with, or
Cubes of Truth are kind of regular, and I'm on Victoria will sort of alternate the weeks they have them, or there's been tons of different vegan, I guess, events lately, so I haven't been to one in a while because of work and just different events, but I like those. Those are really effective. You can either like stand in the cube and be silent and wear a mask or hold like a laptop or whatever showing footage of slaughterhouses, or be a person like on the outside doing outreach, which is like to talk to passerbys who are wondering what's going on.
Right.
So I when I first did a Cube of Truth, I was like, I would never thought I would do outreach. Like I would be way too nervous to talk to anyone, but I made myself do it like a month or so ago. I did the outreach thing and talked to a couple people, and just because when you're standing there silent and you can't like move or say anything and you're listening to the conversations happen, you think in your head like what your reply would be, and sometimes the person won't necessarily say that, or I don't know, so you just kind of get fired up and you really want to like say your answer or give them the information you have, so it felt really good to do that. I had like 2 really good conversations with people who were super nice and receptive and didn't know like about the dairy and egg industry and stuff, and gave them whatever resources, and so I like to do that. And then I'm going on Saturday to like a chicken, I think it's a slaughterhouse. You go like vigils, or where you go and take videos or just watch, like bear witness basically to the animals that are going into slaughterhouses, and like exposing it more and just being there to watch them, and kind of like if you can see them in the trucks, like give them last few moments of compassion, like which they've never received before, kind of before they die. So that really is awesome and interests me. I'm going to do that on Saturday. And then another thing that's super cool is like actually going into slaughterhouses and like taking animals and rescuing them. But I'm going to be a nurse and I want to like travel, so I have to have like a clear criminal record, obviously.
Of course,
so, that's not necessarily as doable for me, but I don't know, we'll see. It's only been like 2.5, 3 months of doing activism, and it's awesome. I love it. So I'm not sure what my favorite is. I'm still just getting into it.
Yeah, cool. So then this is the part of the show. It's called the motivational moment. So I'm wondering, can you describe your passion in 5 words or less?
I would say, I was thinking of this, intersectional vegan for the animals.
Intersectional vegan for the animals.
Yeah.
So what does that mean? So
I was just gonna say vegan for the animals because there's kind of like 3 main reasons why it's important for people to go vegan, like for the animals, for the ethics, which is kind of a more obvious one, for your health because it's like a lot healthier for us.
Right.
And then for the environment, because it's animal agriculture is like the top thing killing our planet, basically. So those are the 3, and then intersectional because it covers so many other issues like feminist issues, human rights, just there's so many things. So yeah, I told my sister that, I'm like, okay, what are my 5 words? And she's like, throw intersectional in there, just because it covers so many things that once you start learning about it more and more, it's it's like so many different things it covers.
Cool. That's awesome. Yeah. So then you travel. So you travel. So you said you were telling me you traveled the world. So like, go into that.
I went for like I went on a trip with my brother, basically around the world ish. We went for just over a year. Like, went to Africa, met him there. He was there for a few months before me. We met in South Africa and did a month volunteer thing down there. And then I went up through we went to 7 different African countries altogether and spent 4 months there. My parents and sister met us in Tanzania for 3 weeks to do a big safari. It was awesome.
Oh, cool.
Always wanted to go to Africa, so it was awesome. And then we flew to Amsterdam and then spent a month traveling around Europe while we waited for the season. We were working in England for the summer, so our dad was born in England, so we just had a connection kind of to work there because we wanted to keep traveling but settle down and work and make some more money.
Right.
So I ended up staying there for 8 months or so, and then, which was awesome experience. And then while I lived there, I did a mini trip to Thailand and Malaysia with some people there for a month. So and then once it had been a year that I had been gone from home, I was like, oh my god, it's been so long. So I ended up coming home after, I think it was 13 months. So
oh wow,
yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So then, what was your favorite place to visit while you're out on your year abroad?
Padstow is the town in England that I lived and worked at. It's this small little town in Cornwall, which is a region in England where people go for holidays in the summer. So I love that place. It's so close to my heart. I really want to go back there. And then that was awesome. Amsterdam's awesome. Berlin's awesome. And then Africa, just in general, I'd always wanted to go there. I really want to, once I'm an actual nurse, I really want to go back to Africa and just other, obviously that's continent, but just more poor countries and work there. But all over Africa was pretty cool. I don't know, everyone asks me, I don't have a favorite place. I just love it all.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so is there a place you haven't been to that you want to go check out?
I never been to South America. I was originally I wanted to go to Madagascar when I decided to go to Africa. I want to go everywhere, Australia, New Zealand, India. There's tons of places, yeah. And then lots of places that aren't typical for people to travel to. I really want to go, I don't know, Middle East. I don't know.
Okay.
Wherever.
And then you were saying you wanted to do traveling nurse. So what is that? So I get the idea of being a nurse, but so how does it?
I think once I haven't looked into it tons because I'm only finishing my first year, so I have some time to figure it out. But once you done my degree, to do travel nursing, you kind of need a couple years experience anyways, so it's a ways in the future. But yeah, just going there's Doctors Without Borders and Nurses Without Borders, or different organizations that you can kind of go to, and I don't really know how it works, but I think you kind of sign up for whatever, and then nurses are needed all around the world, so I think it's relatively easy or doable to, I don't know how long, I do a few weeks or a month kind of thing, and then I want to, and then I know once I'm in school, if I wanted to, the government will pay off your student loans if you go to places that no one really wants to work, Northern Canada or something like that, but that doesn't really super interest me, so I kind of want to move to Victoria and then have that as my home base to travel from. But I don't know, it's just an idea for now. But I wanted to, I love traveling, and I want to live a life where I'm all around the world temporarily and then come home. So yeah, I just figured it's a good career to do that with. Okay.
And then so why did you choose nurse? Why does that interest you?
I don't know, I have nurses in my family. My aunt was a nurse. I always wanted to be a vet, but when I was little, but I kind of wanted to help animals that didn't already have happy homes. I was
so SPCA kind of thing?
Yeah, I just love the idea of rehabilitating animals that have been abused and stuff like that. So that's why actually being vegan, like that was really huge and awesome for me because that was kind of what I always wanted to do with my life, revolved my life around helping animals, and I like couldn't figure out how to do it, but that's basically the biggest way to indirectly anyways like help animals, so that's good. And then yeah, I don't know, maybe I was thinking, I wonder if I can use my nursing degree to like go into being a vet one day and just do a vet thing.
I'm sure it could like definitely get you a long way, because I mean it's...
Yeah, because I know you need like some sort of medical degree. I haven't really looked into it, but I thought of that idea once. I'm like, I don't have to just be a nurse in my life. Like some people have multiple degrees, so
for sure,
like,
right?
Maybe I'll do that.
I when I painted houses, I met this guy. I can't exactly remember his name. He did drafting for 10 years, so he was definitely in his late 20s or like early 30s, and he's like, yeah, I just decided to change up careers, so now he's a journeyman carpenter.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So now it's just like, oh right, yeah, you can actually do that now. Not like, before it was like,
yeah,
you're set.
I kind of just always think like you do what you do and that's your life. My dad was someone who, I don't know what he did first. He was a doctor, then he became a lawyer, or vice versa. Like that's intense.
That is intense. That's a lot of schools.
Yeah, like if someone can do that, then I can do this.
Yeah, and like, yeah, nurse and vet are like very similar, except instead of working on people, you're like working on animals.
Yeah.
So it's like pretty...
Yeah, I used to always be like, I always ignored the idea of being a nurse because and like thinking of what to go to school for in general, because I was like, too many people care about people, not enough people care about animals. That's what I would always say. But then I wasn't doing anything to help animals. So I was kind of just working at like whatever minimum wage jobs. And I'm like, I have to do something. And since I love to travel, and I don't know, nursing is just everyone's becoming a nurse, I feel like, but it's because you have a job basically right after school, and then
it seems very in demand right now. So, like, I mean,
like we'll always need nurses if there's an apocalypse or something.
Oh,
then
that's just it, right? Like someone's got to be able to patch people up.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's a good skill to have.
Oh yeah.
Set of skills too.
It's a great set of skills. I mean, it's like being a chef.
Yeah.
Except you don't.
I used to actually always want to be a chef too. So.
Oh really?
Maybe I'll do that as well.
Well, there you go. Be like the Bobby Flay of vegan cooking.
Yeah.
There you go. That's the way to do it.
Yeah, that'd be cool. So
you were into sports. You were gymnastics and soccer and all that.
Yeah. Not gymnastics. I was very good at it when I was little, apparently, but I was too shy to let my mom leave me for the.
Oh, okay. So it's just...
I did soccer instead because my dad was my team soccer coach, so I could handle that because I could go to practice.
There was no anxiety there.
Yeah, yeah, I was so shy when I was little.
Aren't we all though?
Yeah, and then I grew up playing soccer, and it was awesome. My dad was my coach for 6-7 years, and I did rep and metro and whatever, which was good. I don't know. I haven't played in a while. I kind of just will sometimes play those 7-a-side leagues.
Oh yeah, okay.
This year I got into that a little bit more, which feels really good. I love that. Yeah, I don't know. Sports are fun.
They
Whichever
are.
Ones.
I really like basketball, but I'm the whitest guy to play basketball. I am so bad. I always make sure I team up with my one friend who plays basketball, because then we kind of even out, because he scores and I just hold on to the ball and pass it to me.
I think I almost failed, or did. I wouldn't have actually failed, but PE in grade 6 or something, because I just sucked at basketball. That was the one sport that I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't really care to play sports in gym. I just wanted to play dodgeball. I just lived for that.
I think I did a year of a season of lawn bowling with my friends.
That's awesome.
It's all older people than me and my one friend. I don't know how we signed up or why, but it's hilarious. And it wasn't weird at all. We were just little 10-year-olds or something with their white shirts or whatever. It's so funny.
That's so awesome.
That. Yeah, lawn bowling is so funny. Yeah,
that's so cool. That's awesome. Is there anything? Do you have a sport you're trying to get back into, or is it just kind of soccer is the main thing that you kind of play when you have spare time?
Yeah, soccer, I guess. I don't know. I liked volleyball, and then when I got to high school, it was I kind of had to. Well, I didn't really play volleyball tens, but if I wanted to be on the team, you're pretty busy to do soccer and volleyball, so I kind of just chose to keep playing soccer, and then
that's fair.
I don't know, then my skills kind of died in the volleyball area, so...
I mean, when you don't practice, it just... Right, fair enough.
Surfing's fun, snowboarding, I like to do those activities. Yeah, I don't know. I like to just do other sports just for fun, like tennis, but not seriously, or
Oh yeah, okay.
what have you. But yeah.
I love badminton.
Yeah.
It gets so intense. Like the amount of times I've like smashed it and hit my mom in the face or something. It's so awesome.
I usually just can't hit it at all. Just swing and miss.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So then, say in 5 years from now, where do you want to be? Like, what are your goals for 5 years?
What's the year? Okay, in 3 years I'll be done school. So then I need 2 years experience working. So then hopefully in 5 years I'm getting ready to go traveling as a full-fledged nurse.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'll be in my 30s. That's okay, that's life.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Hopefully maybe I'll have pets of my own, or live in Victoria. Hopefully I'm living in Victoria.
You just gotta get like a small dog you can just take everywhere.
Yeah.
Or a big dog. I mean, whatever. Just get.
Or like a little goat. I love goats. I'm big on goats.
Goats are hilarious.
They're my favorite animal.
I just saw this video on Facebook. This guy like helped a dove or like it was a bird. It was like a dove or a pigeon or something. He helped it. He like nursed it back to health, and it just like he goes everywhere and it just like chills on his shoulder and like flies with him.
Aww.
And like, yeah, it's like, oh wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's cute.
Thought it was really cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So I just wanted to thank you for coming on the show. I really appreciate it. Yeah. Where can the people find you?
Like on social media?
Yeah, if they want to like, find you on the gram or something or
I think my Instagram is Hillier _
Okay.
At Hillier.
At Hillier, yep. You can find me at Just Koryzma. And then if they want to look into more like vegan activism or vegan things, do you have any recommendations or just kind of Google it?
If you want to try it out, I would suggest going to Challenge 22 or vegan22.com. Do like a 22-day vegan challenge. You get a free mentor and dietitian. They'll help you with any questions you have. You don't have to. No obligations after the 22 days, but
cool. Okay.
That's a good one. Or I think vegankit.org is also good. Or just message me and I can help you out.
There you go.
Yeah.
You can be next. Just put in your Instagram bio, vegan consultant DM for inquiries.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. Yeah, no, it's cool. I find like after 20 days, it becomes routine. So I think
if they say it takes 21 days to break a habit, so they made it 22 days because
smart because you get that extra day, and then they're like, then they just think like a vegan.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, awesome. I hope you liked the episode. If you do, hit that subscribe button. Check out the other episodes. They're pretty great. Not as good as this one, but
Yeah.
But thanks, and we'll see you guys next time.